Hello, I'm Dr. Saila. I'm an integrative and functional medicine specialist. Today, I'm going to give a brief presentation on how to reduce pesticides in your diet. Let me share my screen here. So this is my information. My clinic is located in Framingham, Massachusetts in USA, near Boston. And this is a disclaimer about my presentation. All information given about health conditions, treatment, products, dosages are for educational purpose only and do not constitute a medical advice. And this is me with the Functional Medicine Institute. And this is my information again. Let's learn how to reduce pesticides in our food. And we all know that insecticides and pesticides are used. Basically, the pesticides are used to control the insects and herbicides to kill the weeds. The example of one of the herbicides is glyphosate, which is manufactured by Monsanto for Roundup, right? And in the modern world, almost no food is 100% free of pesticides. Surprisingly, even organic food contains some pesticides. Let me go to my next slide. And there are a lot of studies that linked chronic diseases to the use of pesticides. And unfortunately, when farming is done in a large scale, it is transported to places thousands of miles away. Usage of certain pesticides make produce affordable and prolongs the shelf life. So we will learn how to reduce the pesticides because we cannot avoid the pesticides in our life. We will have some of them in the produce. So this is a study done on organophosphates and diabetes mellitus, and it shows that it does increase the incidence of pesticides. And look at that, there are 900 pesticides in the conventional food and about 30 in the organic foods. Like when it comes to how to reduce the pesticides in your diet, the first thing that we all think about is like, let's go to organic foods, right? So it's not affordable to everybody. So I'm giving you the list of dirty dozen here. When it comes to dirty dozen, I think we all should buy the organic vegetables because they absorb a lot of pesticides. So this is the list actually from 2014, and the second one is from 2020. It's kind of pretty much the same. There is a slight variation. And when it comes to clean 15, so there are a list of clean 15 foods here. This one, I think we all can go even conventional because it is a clean food. It doesn't absorb that much pesticides. It's okay to go conventional if you have budget limitations. And how to minimize pesticides, right? We all know the option number one, have a small kitchen garden. And not everybody has the kitchen garden. So we are going to the option number two, which is try to buy food from the local farms. That is the thing I always do in summertime, especially. And the third option is choose organic foods. And like when it comes to dirty dozen, especially, right? Option number four, wash thoroughly. I'm going to tell you how to do that. That's then my next slides are going to tell you that. And this one, there was a study done on home preparation on pesticide residues in cabbage. Interestingly, this study showed that baking soda was able to get about, I will show you next slide. Okay, baking soda removed about 65% of the pesticides, and tap water removed very little, I think, less than 10%. So salt solution is also close to baking soda. And this study showed that when you stir fry the food, it reduced the pesticides even more than baking soda, but really we don't want to do that at the cost of losing the nutrients. And the next slide showed that for the cabbage, they used tap water, salt water, and vinegar. So vinegar removed the pesticides, but it gets a little expensive if you want to use too much vinegar for all the vegetables. But choose either vinegar or baking soda. I'm going to give you the recipe for that. So this is another study that did the same thing. It showed how to remove the pesticides from the apples. And this is a slide of one of the apples I took for the picnic, and see how much dye is there. Basically, the pesticides go in the form of dye to increase the shelf life. And This is my recommendation. For the green leaves, use baking soda, soak for about 10 minutes. You have the recipe of baking soda solution in my next slide, and just drain and pat dry. And this one is mushrooms, because mushroom is almost like a sponge. So you don't want to use too many pesticides for mushrooms. So just scrub the mushroom with a veggie brush and rinse and dry with towel. And tomatoes, use the baking soda solution, soak for 10 minutes, brush and rinse. And cabbage, salt water solution. Just discard the outer layers of the cabbage and soak for about 10 minutes and drain and pat dry. And peeling the veggies is not something that I recommend unless there are a lot of pesticides on conventional apples. That's the only thing I usually peel. Use the solutions that I'm telling you instead of peeling. So vinegar solution is what we use. 4 parts of vinegar, 4 parts of water to 1 part of vinegar, and soak for about 10 minutes for the veggies. And a salt solution, 1 tablespoon of salt to 80 ml of water. You dip the vegetables in the solution. And baking soda solution, 1 ounce of baking soda, which is 6 tablespoons to 100 ounces of water before you soak it. And when it comes to detoxifying, once the pesticides get into your body, obviously we all need to detoxify. Our body is equipped with detoxifying methods, but certain foods help with the detoxification. That's what I'm going to talk about here. And cilantro is an excellent detoxifier. So use a lot of cilantro in your diet, especially in the form of soup. It helps. I use it a lot in my cooking. And gooseberry helps with the detoxification. And pomegranate is one of the fruits detoxifies. And when it comes to supplements, chlorella is good for detoxification. And the fermented foods. Nowadays, we kind of forgot about the fermented foods. They're very good to get rid of the pesticides that you have. I use them a lot in my house. If you can use yogurts, kefir, but if you're allergic to dairy or if you're dairy intolerant, you can use foods like sauerkraut. And this is again another study done on detoxification with kimchi. And this is the store-bought sauerkraut, and make sure it is lacto-fermented when you buy it from the store. And this is a kombucha that I make it at home. This is a probiotic food, and it helps with detoxification. And this is kefir. And that's it. This is a brief presentation for today. Thank you for listening to me. And again, this is my information. I'll stop sharing. I'm going to share some more presentations in the near future. This is a brief and short one for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.